see in tonight's game, and what are the things you're going to be looking to exploit?
I think our biggest challenges are going to be inside their post players. Liz Cambage and Asia, obviously, reigning MVP. I think Chelsea Gray is, a great lead for them. So just keeping her under control as far as post ups go. But I think our main thing is just constantly evolving as a team. We haven't been together, so it has been a rough start. But I think more so we're trying to focus on us and getting better within our team defense, and just trying to implement everything coaches telling us every day in practice to continue to get better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn Peck.
Hey, Chantel, how are you?
Hi, good.
After sitting out last season and working yourself back into this year,
Yeah.
what has been the biggest adjustment for you?
I would say, just feeling normal, like what my brain wants to do with my bottom half, not kind of evening out. Like I've been out for so long, so it's just kind of just, I don't know, some movements are a little weird still, but just, I don't know. I just feel like I have to get games under me, but I feel super good mentally. Like everything I want to do is it just has to implement out on the court. So game by game, I feel like I'm starting to feel a lot better. It's been a long time that I've been out, so it's kind of small ailments. Like my foot is fixed, but it's like now my knee is like, hey, you haven't used me in a while. So, hey, just like slow your roll a little bit. So it's just kind of just everything around my actual injury is kind of what I'm trying to work back those muscles around it. But it's been great. The staff has been great with working me back in and making sure I kind of, I'm on my minute restriction with practice and stuff so that I can be available for games.
And watching you have been impactful on the glass, but you've also extended your range a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that was the whole conversation the last couple of years is my toe being on the line with 3-point shooting. But I feel like as far as kind of implement myself back into the team, I feel like rebounding is a place where you can always make yourself, available. You can always go and get rebounds, give your team second shots. So I'm just trying to do like little things good, my passing, making sure I'm getting the second opportunities on the offensive end, just doing the little things and knowing that scoring and all that stuff will come back.
And my last question is, this is your first season playing with Marianne Stanley, and she's such a teacher. I know the season hasn't started the way that you have liked, but how has she kept you all with a positive mentality?
She's been great. I think that her patience with us has been fantastic. I think that she knows that we're a work in progress, and she's making us stay focused on that, not get too, panicky with, the beginning of the season losses, like just knowing that, we're a work in progress. Most teams have been together for a long time, and this is a completely new team. So you really have to be patient and constantly remind yourself of that. Like, don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We're only 6 games into the season. The season is not broken or made, in those first couple games. So just constantly just trying to get better. She's very patient. She's not, she's just very aware that, we just have to work together. We have to get in the gym, and we're in there constantly working. And she's just been fantastic, I think, especially with the young group that we have.
Great. Thank you, Chantel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Anne-Marie Anderson.
Hey, Chantel.
Hey.
This is the start of a 5-game road swing for you. What's your plan in terms of being able to take care of yourself and manage that travel again?
Just staying on top of everything. I'm compression down on the planes, anti-inflammatories, constant rubbing. Our trainer is absolutely fantastic with making sure that, we're all ready to play. He's always watching to make sure, our bodies are good. And I'm very appreciative of that. But I honestly just rest and trying to stay off my feet as much as possible, to just, not have my legs feel so weighed down, because it is a lot of traveling and moving.
And then this many games into the season, how would you describe the identity of this team? When people talk about the Fever, what's the identity?
I think we're consistently evolving. I think that, you know, in a couple games, I feel like I'll be able to definitely say that. But I think our identity, we do want to be tough. We want to be a tough defensive team, have a presence. A lot of people talk about having a star player, but I think the way that our team is built is how Indiana basketball likes their teams, you know, just hardworking, hard nosed, gonna grind and weigh on you. After you play Indiana, you're gonna feel that you played Indiana. And I think we're getting to that. We're getting, you know, we just have to stay in the gym. We don't know each other. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of times people can say, oh yeah, they don't have this or they don't have that, but it's like, we have people who have been in this league, who have had experience, who knows what it takes. So it's just a matter of just making sure our young players know that, making sure we stay on top of it and just staying positive, knowing that it's a work in progress and staying patient with our team. But for sure, to me, I think eventually just hard nose, hard working, gonna get in your shit, excuse me, and just, you know, make you feel that that you played against us.
Well, and my last question is, as you mentioned, you do have some veteran players. You also have a really young team. So between
Yeah.
you and Danielle and Jessica, how do you guys divide up, manage, lead in different ways?
I think it's a balance, you know. I mean, obviously I feel like the new generation is a lot different from when we came into the league. You know, it's just so different. And me being removed for a couple of years is kind of like a whirlwind. Like, wait, what has happened in these 2 years? I feel like the league is evolving into, you know, the world is evolving into this technology and all of this stuff. Like, I feel like it's just like, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on with the COVID protocols and stuff? I'm like, it's a fast world. But no,
Yeah.
I'm being silly, but it's just like forever evolving. And I just feel like we just have to have a balance. So we hang out, but we also are constantly on them. Like, that's not the level. You got to do that better. That you got to constantly work on defense, constantly in our young players' ear, especially for me, Kelsey Mitchell, because she's so talented offensively, just constantly challenging her defensively. Like, yeah, I know in the past you had to, you know, volume shoot it, but you can be a great defender in this league as well. So just constantly having small challenges for the guards the young guards, and just being in their ear about little things. I know I feel like I've told Kaiser 1,002 times to fade when they shoot the gap. Like, it's just little things like that. Just constantly reminding them of the things you have to do in this league, because players are really, really good. And I just tell them it's an everyday thing. It's, you have to do it again and then do it again. Yeah, you got a good stop, but do it again. I'm like, that's what the league is about. Constantly doing it over and over and over again, and wanting to do it, being willing to do that. And I feel like our last few games too, just challenging somebody to want to be the defensive stopper. Like, who is going to be our defensive stopper on this team when we play against some of the top guards in this league, the Tarasis, and who wants to take that challenge on to be the person that stops that person? And you have you have some blanks there sometimes, but it's just like, I think that it's just that mentality, just bringing that championship mentality to this team, I think is going to be helpful, especially in the future. But we're a work in progress, and I don't want people throwing the towel in on us, but because we have great pieces, and I think we can do some big things once we, get to know each other and we play together for a little bit.
I love that energy. Thank you, Chantel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Pat, want to finish up?
Sure. Hi, Chantel. Between you guys in Vegas tonight, there's a lot of quality in both front courts. What do you see as the key to the matchup between their bigs tonight?
Just making it tough. I mean, Liz and Asia are fantastic players. I mean, I think we are too. A lot of times people go into games and they're like, how are we going to guard them? But they have to guard us too. And I think that, you can get so caught up, they're MVPs and they're all-stars, but just like make them guard as well. You know what I mean? And just making their shots tough. I think throwing them different looks, a double here and there, single coverage here, just making it tough for them, because they are natural scorers, and you have to know that they're gonna score the ball, but just making sure that they're working for every single shot. And the same for us. We need Big T inside to make a presence. You know what I mean? She's 6'7", Liz is 6'8", 6'9". Like, that should be an even matchup. Like, go at her just as much as she's gonna go at you. I know you're younger, but that's what we need from you. We need you to be a beast. Like you were in that DC game, the first game we won versus DC. We need her to be that every single night. And that's my challenge for her. And I think that just, us just attacking, we have to be in attack mode, because I do think our inside game is one of our upsides. And I think that we have to, use that a little bit more. But yeah, just it's gonna be a battle, and I think it's gonna be fun. I love challenges like that, especially when you have matchups like McCowan and Liz. Like I love it. You know, JB, me, and Asia. Like I love it. So it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Thanks, Pat.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I got one more, Jantel from
Okay.
Tully.
Okay.
Hey, matey, how you doing?
Hey, mate.
Sorry, I don't look respectable enough to put my camera on. And hello to everybody else. Yeah. Jantel, you touched on a few things I just want to talk about. So we talk about making shots tougher. I sensed it was frustrating the other night against Washington because they were shooting at such a high percentage, so you couldn't get into an attack downhill game. And to me, that's a big part of the Indiana Fever's game with your quick guards and everything. Was that a feel out there?
Was that a feel?
Yeah. Did you feel like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. You can't get into transition, which I thought was our advantage versus DC. We couldn't get into transition because we weren't getting stops. So that definitely can make the game a lot harder. But we have to be willing as a team to stop great players. It doesn't matter if it's a post player. It doesn't matter if it's a guard. They're scoring on all of us. And that has to be a consistent effort from the entire team to somebody get frustrated, and we have to get angry when people are just constantly scoring on us. And we kind of are just, as a group, I would say as a whole, we're just too okay with people constantly scoring on us. And I think that'll change, you know, with time and us being together a little bit more. But definitely in DC, we don't want to get into a game where we're constantly playing in a half court, and that wasn't our strength versus DC. So definitely want to get to our strong points, which is playing in transition. So that is going to cause for us to get down, get in the stance, and get stops tonight.
So, and there was another point I was just going to allude to, the trust defensively. You know, is there that challenge for players to get out of that comfort zone? Because, you know, you've got to defend the three, and it's like, you know, you talk about having that trust with each other, like, I've got your back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that comes with time too. We don't know each other. So I feel like people are, and it's not on purpose. It's human nature to go into, you know, yourself and be like, hey, my person's not gonna score. You know what I mean? Or not just kind of forget that it's a team defense. And I think that we're getting better with that constantly. But we have to play team defense. This group has to be a team defense type of team. And I think once we understand that, like we'll be better. But we know that, and I think we're aware that we had Benaja Laney and we had Tina Charles that just kind of had their way with us, and it's all of us. And I think that we're aware of that, and we want to be better. I think today in Shootaround, I just loved how we had people on the nail and people in the lane. It was just like we're starting to understand, like we have to do it all together.
Love it, matey. Good luck, and never count out an Indiana Fever team.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jantel. We'll have D-Rob up next for everybody.
Thanks, Ryan. See you guys.
For us, that's scoring. That's making them take the ball out of bounds, slowing them down. And they just, I mean, their chemistry, you know, Bill's system, it's all about movement and flow and the next movement. So making sure that we're in tune with personnel, that's going to be huge. I mean, obviously Jackie's playing well, so taking away as much as we can. Obviously they're great players, a great team, but you know, we're going to come in and we're going to compete, and we're going to have to do it every single possession.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Anne Marie Anderson.
Hey, Danielle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's nice to see you, and I agree with Carolyn. We do need to see you even after Jantel talk.
Appreciate that.
I'm wondering, playing for Marianne Stanley, what do you think has been special about her? Obviously, she's coached in so many places around the league. What's special about Marianne Stanley?
Well, I think just her trust and belief. You know, she's been around for a while. She's done this with many different types of teams, and I think that's just huge to have that trust and belief from her. Yeah, we've struggled in the beginning, but to be able to have that from your head coach, it's huge. And it's, you know, she's not worrying about anything. She's not, you know, putting any pressure on us. She's literally just, you know, wanting us to go out and be better every single night. And so I think that makes it easy for us to just go out and be ourselves, not worry about getting yanked for a turnover or anything like that. It's just literally there's just a trust, you know, that once we figure it out, we're going to be really good. And so, you know, I don't think that you can take that for granted, especially coming from her.
And then this is the start of a 5-game road swing for you guys after being in one place last year in the Wubble. 9 years experience for you in the league. What do you do to take care of your body, especially when it's a road trip like this?
See Ryan, our trainer, every single day. I was dead dog tired last night, and that was the one thing that was on my list, was to see him. And hopefully get a few ice baths in. I already told him we're gonna have to be utilizing the tubs a little bit. But yeah, just making sure that we're resting as much as we can, hydrating, especially with all the flying that we're gonna be doing. You know, it's hot out here, so that's always a factor as well. So just making sure that we're doing the little things that it takes to be a good professional. I didn't know this early in my career, but I've definitely found out later.
Well, and that's the question I had, is in terms of sharing it with some of the younger players, because there's going to be a lot of mental practice, but there's not a lot of time for physical practice. So how do you help prepare them mentally in terms of staying locked in when you can't necessarily work on rotations and such physically?
Yeah, well, I think that's just a communication with them. They trust Jantel and I, JB as well, because we've been around for a while. And so they listen to whatever we say. If I'm like, hey, I need you to, come get treatment with me. I need you to come get in the tank with me. They're like all for it. So just passing that knowledge on, making sure, because, everybody's playing, everybody's getting a ton of minutes, and we're going to need everybody from here on out. So just making sure that everybody's doing what they can, especially the hydration piece. It's really, really important.
I would hope that they would listen to you. Thank you very much.
Of course.
I think we got time for 2 more. Pat?
Hi, Danielle. As well as anybody how talented this Vegas roster is from top to bottom, but they might have the best front court in the league. As a guard, how much do you have to be cognizant of helping your own bigs with Wilson and Cam Beige, considering that there's also, as you mentioned, a Jackie Young out there that you can't necessarily just leave her open either?
Yeah, well, that's, when you're playing great teams, you just have to pick your poison and make adjustments throughout. Obviously, Asia is really damn good. Liz is back and playing well, and they play well together. That's the thing. Like, their high-low action is, it's not unstoppable, but it's pretty damn close. And so, making sure, I think that for us though as guards, it's making sure that the passes in the post aren't easy. We got to have good ball pressure. We got to keep it out as much as possible. So that means the post got to fight in there as well. But it's going to be a team defensive game. We're not going to expect them to do it by themselves. Obviously, they're tough to guard, but we're going to make them guard as well. And hopefully, we'll come out victorious.
Last one to go to Tully.
Lady, obviously the Indiana corner is doing you well.
Yeah, it is.
You've had a great start yourself, like very consistent. And I see you stepping behind that 3-point line and knocking some shots down. I mean, it feels like you haven't, like you've been here for a couple of seasons, and not just coming to a new team. Are you feeling pretty relaxed now here in your new environment?
Yeah, I am. And from the beginning, since I signed in for agency, I felt comfortable here, from top to bottom, from, Allison, obviously Catch, all the coaches I've been in contact. And then, even the players were hitting me up once I signed immediately. And so I think that chemistry has definitely led to an easy transition and just a comfort level.
And are you enjoying the kind of new format where you're playing teams, back to back, from your perspective? You find that more of a positive?
Yeah, I definitely do. Especially, you don't have to travel as much when you're not, going West Coast to East Coast or anything like that. So, and just to be able to spend time actually in a city, with COVID protocols, we haven't been able to do much, but now that things are loosening up and our team is fully vaccinated, it's nice to be able to, see family and friends that, last year we weren't able to see because we were in the Wubble. So taking advantage of that time as well.
All right, we'll go rest those legs, matey. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. This was great to hear from Jantel and D-Rob, and we'll talk to everybody again for pregame.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, guys.